The accused must be held responsible for his actions.
And as an example, to those who feel that this life of crime is the route to take, Your Honor, by the end of these proceedings, the prosecution will have proved beyond any doubt that the accused engaged in the theft and the transportation of the cables in question.
What is going on? Is it over yet?
No, it's called an opening statement.
It's when the lawyers summarize their cases. It's just the beginning. Don't worry. There's still a lot to come before the magistrate makes her ruling.
Making an example. That is what the prosecution is concerned with today. My client might have had a questionable past, but that does not justify the prosecution's stand in this trial. They have no witnesses to the act. They are going to rely greatly on the testimony of the arresting officer and my client's past. Your Honor, during the proceedings of this trial, I would like to humbly ask you to look beyond my client's past and see him for what he is today. A hard-working family man who was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
After Mr. Matendechere delivered his goods, did he come back immediately?
No, not on that day.
So we are to believe that he could not have received any orders about the illegal materials he was arrested with?
Yes. Vincent was in the store all day, correct?
Thank you. That will be all, Your Honor.
Are you saying he knew what was going on even though he was there merely as a driver?
No, I'm not sure, but he might have known.
Then who did the crime?
Vincent Mabuki. He's the one responsible for the whole scheme. A few days after Josiah was arrested, a man came to the hardware store and asked to see Vincent.
That mysterious man has never been mentioned before. What was his business there?
He said he wanted to see Vincent about a share of his money.
Is it possible Mr. Vincent Mabuki could have been able to communicate with the person who was buying the stolen wires, through a phone?
Objection, Your Honor. That was a statement and not a question.
I withdraw.
Vincent knew exactly what he was doing. He tricked Josiah into working for him.
Funny you should use the word tricked, because that is very appropriate to this innocent man in the dock. He was tricked. No further questions, Your Honor.
You may step down.
Your Honor, I would like to call the prosecution's final witness to the stand.
Are you Christian or Muslim?
Christian?
So Vincent Mabuki.
Would you please tell us what your relationship is with the defendant, Josiah Matendechere?
I employed him as a driver some time ago.
And what exactly were his duties as your driver?
Well, he will do deliveries and pickups.
And did he perform his duties well?
He did his job well.
Mr. Mabuki, were you aware at all about the defendant's actions on that day?
Well, I was not aware of what he was up to. Just like any other day, I sent him on an errand. And the next thing I know, we were being arrested as wire thieves.
So you are contesting the defendant's claims that he knew nothing and that you had sent him on the errands?
Well, I didn't know what he was up to. It was entirely his own plan.
Thank you. That would be all, Your Honor.
What errands did you send him on that day?
Well, I sent him for scrap at a nearby village.
And did he meet with the dealer as is common practice?
Well, I suppose so.
Suppose so? Then why, if I may ask, isn't the dealer here to corroborate your story?
I don't know.
Isn't it true that this is just a case of one man's word against the other? Mr. Mabuki, do you recognize the person seated behind the defendant? Do you recognize the person seated behind the defendant?
Where are you heading with this line of questions?
I don't recognize this man.
Your Honor, I would like to humbly request the court that since the defense has been surprised by a new witness, that you allow, through the leniency and benevolence of this court, for the defense to produce a witness to corroborate the story of Mr. Matendechere.
Your objection, Your Honor. This is highly irregular.
It was also irregular the way your witness was produced. Thank you, Mr. Mabuki. You may step down. Don't worry. You will have enough time to prepare for the witness. We will adjourn for 1 hour, in which time all the lawyers will have adequate time to prepare the witness before I make my ruling.
All right.
What the hell are you doing here? I came to testify and see an innocent man set free. You don't care nothing about innocence. All you care about is money. You didn't pay me mine, so you'll pay one way or another. Okay, I'll up the money just as long as you just get on that stand and testify against him, okay? Or you can even just get out of here.
Coercing a witness is a crime, Mr. Mabuki. Let's go.
I find buyers for a price and I transport goods to them.
Do you know this man?
Yes.
What is the nature of your relationship?
He's just a driver. His boss and I had business.
Who is his boss?
Vincent Mabuki, that man right there.
The goods that the defendant was found with, were they the property of Mr. Vincent Mabuki?
Yes, but he never paid for them.
Objection, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if it pleases the court, this witness proves that Josiah is innocent and that he really did not know what he was carrying. If it pleases the court, this witness proves that the person who should be seated here today is that man over there. One Mr. Vincent Mabuki.
Order! Order in court! Well, it is obvious that this new evidence is shedding new light on this whole case, and that the corroborating witness cannot be ignored. Therefore, this court will have to adjourn so that it can consider this new evidence.
All right.
How could you do this to anyone, Vincent?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're willing to let an innocent man rot in jail just so that you can get away scot-free?
I haven't done anything wrong. All I did was just to help the business.
You're possibly ending the life of a family just so that you can make a little more money. You're a disgrace.
I don't have to hear this.
Oh, yes, you do. You disappoint me, Vincent. You had the chance to be honest, but you're still lying. Cannot be my son.
All rise.
In light of the new evidence presented in this court, this case has been changed. The court feels that this new evidence shows that Mr. Josiah Matendechere as being an innocent bystander in this whole matter. I find that the evidence is not sufficient to put Mr. Josiah Matendechere on his defense. Mr. Matendechere, you're free to go. Also, in light of the new evidence, I am advising the relevant authorities to investigate Mr. Vincent Mabuki and his dealings in the last few months. And you, Mr. Mabuki, don't even think of leaving the country. We're watching you very carefully. This court is adjourned.
All rise.
Thank you so much for saving my husband.
We did our job.
You know, we had a very strong case. Us in the Volunteer Advocacy Network are here to help you learn your rights. We'll also represent you in case you have no representation.
But now that I've gone through this, I've learned the system. I can represent myself if there's a next time.
We can help, but we hope there won't be a next time.
Today on Makutano Junction, I learned that the justice system is here to help us. The paralegal and the lawyer helped me defend myself and prove that I was innocent. The case was well handled, and I got to see the whole procedure and managed to go home to see my family. If you have trouble understanding the justice system, there are people who are meant to help you. The Paralegal Network is an organization meant to help those who are in need and wish to understand the system better. For more information about the Paralegal Network, just send us a text on 3036 and we'll give you all the information about the show you've watched today. Tukutane, Makutano.